Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namami Buddham Gunasagarantam Santa Sada Hontu Sukhi Avera Kayo Jiguncho Sakalo Dugando Gachanti Sabbe Maranam Ahanche Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddammang Munirajassa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadam Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the perfectly enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in the Dhamma, today we are going to discuss how we make a successful life. All of us want to succeed our life. We do everything for success in our life. And according to Buddhism, we should understand how we succeed our life. And our success and our skillfulness depends on, as we mentioned before, that our success depends on what on? Yes, our success depends on our happiness. If we are unhappy, actually we are not successful. Our success depends on how far we are happy. On the other side, our happiness depends on that how far we have overcome suffering. We do all things to overcome suffering in our life. In Buddhism, Buddha says very clearly, I declare only two things which they are the nature of suffering and the path that leads to get rid of suffering. In this situation, we should understand how suffering arises and how happiness arises. These both things are very important according to Buddhism. All Buddhist doctrines focus on happiness, for getting rid of suffering, and in this situation, Buddha says, the main reason why we suffer is delusion or ignorance. And also, as much as we listening to Buddha's message, we understand how we overcome delusion. Hence, Buddha explained the way how we develop our wisdom. Wisdom is the opposite side of delusion or ignorance. And this is our real success, wisdom. If we are ignorant, we are unsuccessful. If we are wise, when we are wise, intelligent, we are successful, we are happy. One day, a person, a householder, comes to Buddha and asks Buddha, Bhante, how we succeed our this life, and also how we succeed our next life hereafter. He asked the Buddha, please Bhante, explain the way how we be successful in this life and also how we succeed next life. Here Buddha explained his message in the discourse of Vyagapajya, which comes in Anguttara Nikaya in Sutta Pitaka. Buddha explained 4 techniques, 4 things, 4 qualities that we should have when we are going to succeed this life. And also Buddha explained other 4 qualities that we have to practice to succeed next life too. When we discuss Buddha's message, it has a gradual path. Buddha says, at first, I don't declare the deepest thing, the wisdom. My message is like the ocean. Ocean goes to the deeper level from the beach little by little. It has an order. It doesn't deepen suddenly. The ocean doesn't deepen suddenly. The ocean deepens gradually. Buddha's message also like that. Little by little, Buddha explains his message to the deeper level. And very first, Buddha says, how we succeed this life. That is very important. Everybody likes to succeed this life. Because some people don't believe next birth. But everyone believes this life. Everyone wants to succeed this life. In Buddha's message, we can see a lot of doctrines, advice that Buddha has explained to succeed this life. Here, that person was asked that Buddha says that there are 4 things to succeed this life, and they are, one of them is Uttana Sampada. They are here, and you can see those things in the first page. And Uttana Sampada, the accomplishment of determined effort, dedication, courage, energy, strength. That's very important. If we are lazy, actually we can succeed our life. And therefore, in where we should be courageous. In one side, we should develop our education. Buddha explained the way how we succeed our education. Buddha says the importance of education. One of the duties of parents to give their children the education. Education decides where we go. Education decides our future. We should be knowledgeable about the subject or some field. Not only subjects that we should learn, study, but we should improve our language fluency. That is also very important. Not only verbal languages, we should be qualified even in sign language too. And that is very important to go forward in this society. Not only having a good education, as lay people like you have to earn money. You have to improve, develop your wealth. That is also very important as a lay person. Here Buddha says the way how we earn money. Buddha has explained the limit. We can earn anything that we like money. But Buddha has explained the limit. What is the limit? The righteous way. We should be honest. We should be just. And when we earn money, we should earn money in righteous way. That is the limit. In that limit, we can earn anything what we like. And with determination, courage, we should go forward in our education and employment. That is the first thing Buddha has declared. How we succeed this life. And the next thing is Araka Sampada. The accomplishment of watchfulness or protection. Not only we should earn money, we should have an ability to protect that money that we earn hard. It doesn't mean that we should only earn money, we should not spend it. Actually, we should do it. We should spend money that we earn hard, but we should have good protection. That is also very important. Araka Sampada. Because sometimes some thieves, robbers steal that money. Sometimes if we don't give our tax, sometimes we may have some problems. Therefore, we should be very careful about our money that we earn hard. And if we want to give our tax, we should do it in the proper time. That is very important. And also we should be careful about the thieves and robbers who steal our money. We should be intelligent. The next one, Kalyana Mittata, good association, good friends. When we live in this society, actually, we should have good friends. If we don't have good friends, actually, sometimes we are helpless. And here, it is very important. We also should have good qualities. Our friends, our friendship depends on our qualities. We make the friends who have same qualities that we have. When our qualities increase, we meet the people who have more qualities. When we go down with good qualities, we meet the same people who have same qualities. As much as we can improve our inner qualities, human values, then we meet a lot of friends who have good qualities. Good association means not only living with a person. Association means we associate their qualities. Not only associating with their physical body. Sometimes if we read a book which is written by a person who has already passed away, when we read that person's ideas, actually it is like we associate with that person, even though he has passed away already. And good association means associate with good qualities. On the other side, Samajivikata, balanced livelihood. First, Buddha explains earning money, protection, good friends, and the way how we spend money. When we spend money, we should be aware of how much we earn. If we don't care about these things, then we have to get loans. And we have no freedom. We have no peace of mind if we have a lot of loans. And therefore, always we should understand what we earn when we spend something. These four things are very important. If a person can succeed in these four ways, it means it shows his success. They are very practicable. Buddhism is a lifestyle. And the second thing, he asked the Buddha, how we succeed next life? Then Buddha proclaims another four qualities. Those are also very important. And Saddha Sampada, the accomplishment of confidence. Confidence means the confidence in Buddha's enlightenment. When we are confident in Buddha's enlightenment, we are confident in his message and his noble disciples. Three refuges are together. We have one confidence in one thing, then other two things are developed gradually. And as much as we listen to Buddha's message throughout his doctrines, we are knowledgeable, and also our devotion, confidence gradually increase. It is not just a blind faith. This is a understandable confidence. Because we should have this confidence into some level. When we over that level, the confidence also over. It is like when we go to a place never we have gone. First of all, we have confidence about the map or address. After we reach the destination, our confidence is over. Because we experience. Buddha's message also like that. Until we reach the destination, we should be confident. But when we reach the destination, furthermore, we should not believe Buddha's message. Because we experience throughout our life. And confidence is very important. Not only practicing in Buddhism, but whatever we do. First of all, we may have some kind of confidence. For example, when you go to a doctor, you have a confidence that person has qualifications. You never check his register number, comparing going to the government, you never check it. When you see the certificate on the wall, you believe. You're confident that person is a doctor, real doctor. That is why you get medicine from the doctor. Sometimes when doctor wants to check our body, because of this confidence, we are ready to remove our clothes. Because of this confidence. And also, we believe our birth certificate. Do you remember your birthday? When you were born? No, actually, we don't know when we were born. Our parents said that this is your birthday. Then we believe it. There are a lot of things that we have in confidence in our life. Sometimes we can say more than 50% things that we do with the confidence. In this spiritual path, we haven't gone before. First, we may have some kind of confidence. That is very important. And day by day, when we practice this message through our life, when we see the results, our confidence gradually increases. Because Dhamma is well expounded, Swapato, Sandipiko, visible results, Akaliko, immediately effective, Ehipasiko, all in one to come and see, Opanaiko, leading onward, and also Pacchakam Veditabo Inuhi to be realized personally by the wise. These are the qualities in Buddha's message. Because of these qualities, day by day when we practice truly, honestly, if we practice this message, we can see the results. More practice, more results. The results depends on how much we practice. And the first one is the confidence, and the second one, Sila Sampada. And that is also very important, Sila Sampada. Not only confidence, but we should have good morality or discipline in our speech and behavior. As soon as we listen to Buddha's message, we are hurried to see the results, and we should try to control our senses, six senses, and also our behavior. It says with first one is confidence, and the second one is virtue morality, and the third one, charity. The accomplishment of charity or generosity. Generosity leads us to go forward on this path. If we are so greedy, actually the open doesn't open. The door is not opened whenever we are greedy. Whenever we are generous, the doors of liberation is open. And we should be generous from the beginning to end. And it doesn't mean that we always should give something to others as material things, but here you have dedicated your time, your valuable time. That is why you are here. If you are not generous, you are not here. You have already practiced generosity and virtue and charity or generosity. And the third one, the knowledge of impermanence and karmic law, the accomplishment of wisdom, Panya Sampada. It is a kind of accomplishment, wisdom. I wanted to show you the importance of wisdom because I was explaining wisdom here. Okay, all Buddhist doctrine depends on improving wisdom. For that, Buddha says that is very important to listen to what Buddha taught. Wisdom depends on 4 qualities. Buddha says very clearly, when we are going to improve our wisdom, we should follow 4 qualities. There are 4 qualities that we should have for improving wisdom. Can you remember what they are? There are 4 things that we should practice day by day for the benefits of improving wisdom. Yes, associating good friends and Sappurisa Sanseva. One of the reasons of improving intelligence or wisdom. Associating good friends, noble persons, good friends. And not only having good friends, but we should listening to them. When we are going to associate good friends, we also should have some kind of qualities. What are the qualities we should have at the beginning? There are a lot of qualities that we can practice. Among them, there are few things which are very important. Yes, very good. One of them is honesty. Honesty is very important. If we are honest, even though we have a lot of mistakes, misbehaviors in our life, we can correct them suddenly. That is one of the them. The other thing is intelligence. Intelligence. We should have an ability to understand who are the correct friends. Sometimes we can meet some people, they are so friendly, they are so generous, but they are not intelligent. There are some people who are not friendly, who don't at least even laugh, who don't help others materially, but they are intelligent. Their one advice is better than hundreds of material help. That is very important. Buddha says, how we know a person's wisdom or intelligence? What is the way that we can decide the person who is wise, who is intelligent? Seeing his behavior, can we check it? Sometimes 30-40% we can understand, but that decision is not always correct. What is the highest way that we check a person whether he is intelligent? How do we check his mindfulness? Someone, when he meditates, we think that he is in meditation, he is in mindfulness, but actually he is sleeping. Buddha says, yes?
Ask questions.
Yes, Buddha says the way how we check a person's intelligence is discussion. Yes. Discussion is the way how we check a person's intelligence. It is not just with a one person. Long time we have to discuss with him again and again. But there are few questions at first we can ask. And intelligence also very. We also should be intelligent. Why we should be intelligent first? If we are not intelligent, that we can't understand whether they are intelligent. Sometimes if we are ignorant, we think that even though they are intelligent, they are mad. Because we are not clever to understand them. Because always we decide people checking their behavior, their clothes, their face pattern, their straight physical body. When we see these things, we think that that person is very good looking, handsome, very pleasant, then he is a good person. Actually, according to Buddhism, those are not the qualities that we check a person. Therefore, we are not hurried to decide the person who is good or bad. Sometimes we may think that that person is wrong or bad, but when we associate closely, actually that person may have a lot of qualities, intelligence. And intelligence, and also what else?
Gratitude.
Yes, very good. Gratitude also. Gratitude also one of the qualities that we should have when we associate a person. If we are not that, we lose some good friends. Gratitude. What else? And also generosity. We should be generous. Buddha says, Dadam mittani gantati. Practicing generosity makes good friends. When we are generous, at the same time we make friends. Generosity. These are the primary qualities we should have at the first when we meet an associating person, good friend. But as you mentioned before, loving kindness, when we start the deliverance path, that is the first one. These are the things when we are going to meet a good friend. Okay, everything is very important in our understanding. And when we are going to improve our wisdom, Buddha says there are 4 qualities that we should practice continuously from the beginning to end on the path of liberation. Continuously. In the ordained level, mundane level, supramundane level, there are some kind of levels in spirituality. In all levels, all steps, we should practice these 4 qualities. Not only having good friends, but we should be ready to listen to what he says. That is why Buddha says one of the qualities that we should have good attention. It doesn't mean that we should follow it. We should not be hurried to follow it. But we should have good attention, active listening. That is very important. There are 2 qualities in Buddhism. One of them is obedience. The other one is good attention. Both of them are different. What is the difference, obedience and good attention? Obedience means whatever other people say we are ready to do, whether it is good or bad, correct or incorrect. Good attention means we are intelligent, we are eager whether that person says something is good or bad, correct or incorrect. You know, even Angulimala, he was a very obedient person. Because of his obedience, what happened to him? He killed hundreds of people. His teacher misguided him. Because of his devotion for his teacher, he killed hundreds of people. How about good attention? Good attention never does it. And Buddha also had some teachers before he enlightened. He had good attention. Buddha had good attention before he enlightened. But he was not obedient. If he was obedient, there is no Buddha in the world. He had good attention, but when he come to some level, he decided these teachers should be given up. And therefore, good attention is very important. Active listening, here, listening Dhamma. Throughout this good association, we should listen to Buddha's message again and again. In the name of Buddha's message in the current world, we can listen in a lot of things that Buddha didn't explain. That is why we should be intelligent. And we should understand what is the correct path the Buddha explained. A lot of speakers explain something saying that these things are explained by the Buddha. But actually Buddha never has explained those things. And therefore, in this situation, we should be intelligent to understand what Buddha really explained. Listening to Buddha's message, if we don't have this ability as an intelligent person, our valuable time wasted. And therefore, the third one, what is the third one? Reflection, wise consideration, wise reflection, yoniso manasikara, wise reflection. Reflection means, according to what we listening, we should think it again and again. Not only when we are at the temple, but wherever we are, from morning to night, we reflect on what we listening again and again. And one day Buddha says, I don't see any other important thing than wise reflection, yoniso manasikara. Yoniso manasikara decide, wise reflection decide how far we go on the path of liberation. What is the nature of the wise reflection? The way that we think, how defilements don't arise in our mind, and how positive thoughts generate and develop in our mind. What is the wise reflection? The way, the pattern, the style, what we say, how defilements don't arise, and how positive thoughts arise in our mind. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of ways that Buddha has explained how we practice to overcome defilements or negative thoughts. Among them, according to our understanding, according to the situation, we can practice those things. Even sila or morality, discipline our senses, mindfulness, concentration, and practicing generosity, all of them can be included into wise reflection. Wise reflection is a very wide topic. And for example, when someone blames you, you can think. At that moment, you can practice loving kindness. And sometimes you can think that that person has upset. That is why he is behaving like that. Sometimes you can think that person is like your son or daughter. Sometimes you can think that person has a physical illness. That is why he behaves like that. Finally, what is the highest way in wise reflection that we can think? Practicing, reflecting on impermanence. When somebody blames you, that sound arises and ceases at the moment. That sound doesn't belong to that person. Even though that sound arises from that person, that sound doesn't belong to that person. That sound doesn't belong to my ears. That sound doesn't belong to my mind. It is just a sound. That sound arises and ceases at the moment. if we can keep our full attention in this awareness, understanding, comprehension, then very quickly, suddenly, we can overcome that suffering which arises throughout that sound. That is why, again and again, we have to listen to what Buddha said. When you come to the class continuously, Mr. Pranam, you can understand day by day, you are so fortunate, you are so lucky, day by day we are going to the deeper level. That is why we should do it continuously. When I do one sermon, I also listen in more than 10 sermons. When I speak here 1 hour, I read more than 15 hours Buddhist doctrines, discourses. And day by day, both lay people and we monks should improve our knowledge, reading or listening or discussing what Buddha taught. And fourth one, yes, practice, patipatti, practice. Practice. These 4 things should be increased continuously from beginning to end on the path of liberation. These are the things which decide our intelligence, wisdom. These 4 things increase our wisdom. When we have these 3 things, Buddha says it is like rain. And we receive water like rain throughout these 4 things. It is like rain. And when we have these things, other things are also improving. But they are again saddha or confidence. Confidence in the Buddha's enlightenment gradually increases. When we get help from these 4 things, confidence, and also not only confidence, with the confidence, our energy, courage, dedication in this path gradually increases. Energy for virya. Energy. What is the next one? Yes, sati or mindfulness. Mindfulness can be seen everywhere because it is the center. Mindfulness. And not only mindfulness that we have when we keep our attention in mindfulness or awareness, our mind is going to concentrate. Our mind is concentrated. And because we started this path not from the middle, we started this path from the beginning. What is the beginning? Because these things, especially listening to them. Buddha says, I declare the path for the people who know the Dhamma, who see the Dhamma. I never declare the liberation for those who don't know the path, who don't see the path. What does that mean? It means before we start this path, yes, we should be knowledgeable. We should know where we are going to, what we practice. Before you start a trip or journey to go a place never you have gone, first of all, you should have a good understanding, address, map or something. You should have a clear understanding where you are going to. Without knowledge where we are going to, even though you are so courageous, you can't reach the destination. Without knowing where you are going to, if you drive fast, your courage is useless, meaningless. That is why, first of all, we should know what we practice, where we are going to. With that understanding, when we practice mindfulness, our mind gradually going to concentration. And with concentrated mind, as soon as mind concentrated, then we reflect on impermanence. Samahito bhikkhave yatha bhutam khayanati. Buddha says his words in Pali language. As soon as mind is concentrated, then he reflects on impermanence. Samudevaya, arising and ceasing. And our highest valuable moment is whenever we are in concentration and wisdom. Remember your life. When you were so happy, when you are graduated, when you went to another country, when you meet a person, when you got married, when you receive your first child, that is the day that you mostly enjoyed. You are happy. Buddhism does not reject it. But the special thing is, if someone can concentrate his mind and reflecting on impermanence, that is the place where we enjoy in the highest level. Because our mind is so pure and calm, no negative thoughts, defilements in our mind. We have received all these facilities: good human life, good friends, good health, complexion, education, good environment, everything that you have received. What for? You have received everything for these results. Concentration and wisdom. Concentration, meditation and insight meditation. Buddha says, as an intelligent person, the highest thing that you have to practice is concentration or samatha bhavana and wisdom or vipassana bhavana. Whenever you are in concentration and wisdom, that is the most valuable time that you are in your life. And our real success depends on the duration of concentration and reflecting on impermanence. Our success of life completely depends on how far we are clever to keep our attention in the present moment with concentration and wisdom. At that moment, we have overcome all other sufferings in our life. And please give a value to your life, then your life is so valuable. Even though we are very educated, even though we are very rich, our life is not valuable. The value of our life depends on how far we practice conservation and wisdom here. When we are on this path, actually, as we mentioned before, delusion gradually decreases. Negative thoughts. Delusion is like a main switch. When we reduce main switch delusion, then negative thoughts which arise our mind gradually decrease. What are the defilements that arise in our mind? Like lust, anger, and conceit. Is this correct? Mana, comparing others. This jealousy. These are the defilements. All of them arise because of delusion. What is the delusion? Delusion also can be divided into two. Unknowing of the karmic law. One of them is unknowing the karmic law. Ignorant in karmic law. If someone doesn't know the process of the karmic law, he is ignorant. And as much as we listen to what Buddha taught, the understanding of the karmic law gradually increases. Whatever we do with volition, intention, we will have the same result. When our mind is polluted, the results are unwholesome, bad. When our mind is pure, the results are fruitful. And in this line, we can say it, unknowing of karmic law is the first level of delusion. Understanding of the karmic law is the first level of wisdom. Now you can compare all things that you have already studied. And also, what is the second level of delusion? Sometimes there are some people in the world who have overcome the first level of delusion, unknowing of karmic law, but it's still they are in ignorance. What is the deeper level of ignorance? Yes. Whatever we experience through our senses, if we think that that experience was here before I experienced, and also after experience, if we think the experience remains, that is the huge delusion. This is the conventional truth. Understanding of the karmic law is the conventional truth. Understanding of the dependent origination is the ultimate truth, Paramattha Satya. Truth can be divided into two, Sambuddha Satya and Paramattha Satya. Sambuddha Satya means conventional truth. In the world we can see the conventional truth. Before Buddha was born in the world as a human being, there were some persons, there were some people who had developed their mind to the maximum level with the understanding of the conventional truth. But they couldn't overcome the second level of ignorance or delusion. They didn't understand the dependent origination. When Buddha appeared in the world, there were some ascetic people who had reduced their anger and lustful desire for many eons. But they were not intelligent, because they didn't know the nature of ignorance, real meaning. When Buddha appeared in the world, Buddha introduced, Buddha discovered, analyzed, and proclaimed the nature of ignorance or delusion. Here, Buddha has explained the highest doctrine in his sermons, the dependent origination or Paticcasamuppada. Asmin sati idang hoti. That is the process of dependent origination. Page number 4. Asmin sati idang hoti. This being that comes to be. Imassa uppada idang uppajjati. With the arising of this, that arises. Asmin asati idang hoti. This not being that doesn't come to be. Imassa nirodha idang nirujjati. With the cessation of this, that ceases. This is the process. Here we have nothing to practice. This is the process. When we understand this process, then we search what is the fact. Then we can say that 12 steps of dependent origination, from ignorance from delusion to birth. This is the path. When we are going to overcome desire or lustful lust, then little by little we go to the first root, first cause, first reason. We are going to reduce delusion. Delusion is the opposite of wisdom, and when we are going to practice wisdom in the highest level, first of all we understand the dependent origination, and little by little we practice the path. We reflect on impermanence, unsatisfactoriness and egolessness, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Here we meet a very special thing. 5 groups of existence. What are the 5 groups of existence? 5, not 4. 5 aggregates. The first level, the primary level of 5 aggregates are like 5 groups of existence. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Matter, feelings, perception, consciousness and mental objects. Whatever we experience through our 6 senses at the moment, these 5 things, these 5 groups of existence immediately arise without remaining anything at the moment. These 5 things cease. Buddha says, I do only one advice. I give only one advice for all people. For the people who are in the primary level, for the people who are in some kind of spiritual level, for the people who have already enlightened. I proclaim all people to practice these 5 things as arising, ceasing, danger, in enjoyment and liberation. Samudaya, Attangama, Asada, Adinava, Nisarana. We should reflect on these 5 aggregates according to these 5 ways. How do they arise? Arising. How do they cease? Ceasing. Why? How we enjoy with them? Enjoyment. What are the disadvantages? Danger. And liberation. Nisarana. This, when we experience something through our senses, we have some kind of enjoyment. Buddha doesn't neglect it. But the thing is, enjoyment is few. Disadvantages are lot. That's the nature of these 5 things. We can enjoy with these 5 things a little. But when we enjoy 1 second, we have to suffer many years. That is the thing. And if we can understand these 5 things, 5 aggregates according to these 5 steps, Buddha says for everyone to practice these 5 things. Reflected on in these 5 ways. And again, when we think, when we reflect on this reality, then our mind, our intelligence gradually increase, develop in the correct way. And then our strength, our success, our skillfulness gradually increase. What are the highest skills that we have as successful persons? Whenever we experience something through our senses, we are knowledgeable, we are intelligent to see that experience arises at the moment. Our whole experience is like we are going to the mirror. Like we are going to open the door, fridge door. When we open the fridge door, the light immediately shines. When we close it, immediately the light off. But small children, they may think that light continuously shines. But we are intelligent, we know very well what happens to it. When we go to the mirror, we know very well that reflection arises at the moment. How about our pets? They may think that the pet that they can see in the mirror, before they go to the mirror, it was there. After they leave the mirror, it remains. That is why our pets bark again and again to the mirror. If we have this understanding, whenever we experience, whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we smell, that experience like going to a mirror. We have 6 mirrors. 6 senses means 6 mirrors, not only 1 mirror. When we go to only 1 mirror at home, but actually we have 6 mirrors. When you think your mom, even though she has already passed away, you think that her behavior. When you think your grandma, even though she has already passed away, in your world still she is alive. When you think, when you see your grandma's photo, then your grandma is alive. And whatever you eat that your grandma cooked, then your memory arises. Your experience arises. Not only experience arises, but your mind fixes in the past experience with ignorance. It doesn't mean that we should forget our past or future. Buddhism never says to forget. We should develop our mindfulness. Whatever we experience through our senses, we should be knowledgeable. Now I read my mind at the moment, not the real thing. Then we can remember anything without lust and anger, because we are in the present moment. Try to develop the duration that you keep your mind in concentration and wisdom is the foundation of mindfulness. Have you any question? Buddha says, this is the path for the refuge, for the liberation. Dwell with yourself as an island. Atta deepa bhikkhave viharata. Atta sarana, with yourself. Na anya sarana, with no other refuge. Dhamma deepa bhikkhave viharata. Dhamma sarana. Dwell with the Dhamma as an island, with no other refuge. This is the real refuge that we have. Whenever we are in mindfulness, we have real safety. Even though we are homeless, but we are not helpless, because we have a real safety whenever we are in mindfulness.
Yeah, that was actually my question. So, it says, like, dwell with yourself with no other refuge, but then it says, dwell with the Dhamma with no other refuge.
Mm-hmm. This means, with other means the material of things outside. When we live with Dhamma, Dhamma is inside. Now we are finding refuge outside. When we live with Dhamma, it is not an external refuge. It is inside refuge, inner refuge. Dhamma means living with concentration and wisdom. That is the Dhamma. That is why we say, I go to the Buddha for refuge. It is not the outside thing. When we say, Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, I go to the Buddha for refuge, it means we are confident in Buddha's enlightenment. That understanding inside, not outside. When we say, Dhammam saranam gacchāmi, I practice Dhamma inside. When we say, Sanghaṃ saranam gacchāmi, I go to the Sangha for refuge. Sangha not outside, Sangha inside. We live with Sangha in our spiritual world. Even though enlightened person have passed away, still they are alive in our heart. We are so happy with them, we are not alone. That is the refuge. Okay, thank you for your good attention. And please try to come to the class continuously. Sometimes you may think that we discuss the same thing. Actually, we discuss the same thing. But day by day you go to the deeper level. Then you can combine everything that you study. And that is very important. Okay, now we are going to transfer merits that we acquired throughout practicing meditation and listening to Dhamma. May our departed relatives receive these merits and may they enhance their spiritual energy. May they attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to our departed relatives too. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these merits, may guardian deities and angels also receive these merits. May they enhance their spiritual energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that kind intention, let's transfer these merits to guardian deities and angels too. Ākāsattā ca bummacchā devānāgā mahēti puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Ākāsattā ca bummacchā devānāgā mahēdikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu des. Ākāsattā ca bummacchā devānāgā mahēdikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu tvaṃ sadā. By the power of all these spiritual developments, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantāca niddukkha, bhayam pantāca nibbhaya, sokam pantāca nissokā, hanto sabbe pipānino.